As Dermot says, my name is Pat Culhane. I'm privileged to work here in the Games Development section in Croke Park. I'm the National Child Games Development Coordinator. So, Dave, GAALearning, and thanks again for being here. I'm just going to give a very short presentation, and during that presentation I'm just going to outline what Go Games is and also just fill you in on some of the new policy that came into effect as of the 1st of January around Go Games. So, firstly, just moving on to defining Go Games. Go Games are small-sided versions of hurling and Gaelic football, which have been devised for children up to and including 11 years of age. The Go in Go Games means that every child gets a go for the whole game. They get to play for the whole game in every game where possible. So that's what the Go means. Go Games tries to facilitate an environment where participation is maximised, and we're improving on that year after year. Underpinning Go Games is the player pathway. As Paddy alluded to this morning, it's very important to reiterate that Go Games is played on the principle of play to learn in the child section, differentiating that from the youth and adult as you move up along. The philosophy of Go Games is to promote full participation and play while catering for the developmental needs of the participants through age-appropriate activities. The GAA's first priority is to get children playing games. If they're playing games, they'll have an opportunity to develop, to learn, to express themselves, and from there, they will develop. They'll be more likely to stay and play with the GAA into the future. Okay, there's a lot of research underpinning the Go Games, and some of the benefits from a PhD study by Mickey Whelan, who's on the panel here today, and Niall Moyna, outline that children get far more touches of the ball because they get more of an opportunity to express themselves. Their skill level increases. Their perceived competence about themselves in playing the game increases. They get an increased opportunity to make decisions as well, and it's proven right throughout the world at this stage that Go Games are small-sided games are definitely the way forward. We can see that through the likes of AFL Auskick, which came out around the same time as Go Games. I've started to make contact with the NZRU. They have their own version of Go Games called Small Blacks and Ripper Rugby. The Tennis Federation of America also have 10 and under tennis, which is small-sided tennis. And a lot of people will probably be aware that in recent times, in the last year or two, the English FA have decided to adopt a small-sided games policy as well. So in terms of the revolution of Go Games, the concept was first introduced at the Child Conference here in 2004. That's where the idea was first pitched. It took a few years before it became national policy under Rule 6.26. There was a one-line statement saying that Go Games was played on a small-sided basis, up to 11 a side. It was clear that a review of that policy was needed in 2012. There needed to be some clarity and consistency around what Rule 6.26 comprised of. So a national review was conducted with the 32 county games managers. I also did a master's dissertation and conducted other research with primary school teachers. And it was clear, although Go Games had been largely adopted and was even then an overwhelming success, there was pockets of the country which weren't fully embracing the Go Games ethos and not fully understanding its philosophy. So we've introduced a new policy, and I'll outline that in a minute. In terms of the revolution, since the last Child Conference, as you know, it rotates from child to youth to adult, and the last Child Conference was 3 years ago. And in that period, and these figures are from my colleague Rory Harvey in the Games section, as of yesterday, there's been a 23,000 registration increase since 2011. That's 16%. That's incredible in my eyes. you know, and the coaches in the room and the people that come back here year on year and go back to their clubs and create a positive environment where children can learn and express themselves and play Go Games. Hats off to you. That's an overwhelming success. Directly, I would say, as a result of the good work that goes on, underpinned by the Go Games philosophy. I just visited Rowan Moor. The biggest Go Games blitz in Ireland is on there every year. There's 1,500 children, well over about 130 teams, I think, participate in a Go Games blitz in Rowan Moor every September. It's run by Liam Sheasty. He's talking later about this. But I just happened to meet Austin Gleeson and Kevin Daly. They were full back and centre back on the Waterford minor winning team. The first time in decades Waterford had won a minor All-Ireland. And I just asked them, you know, how did you start playing hurling? And this was their response. Okay, we have Austin Gleeson here and Kevin Daly, fresh off the turf in Croke Park, All-Ireland minor winning champions. Congratulations to you both, lads. You must be delighted.
Yeah, we're over the moon, to be honest. Like, we don't win many All-Irelands in Waterford, and finally bring one back, I suppose, is brilliant.
And Austin, what did it mean to the people of Waterford to actually...
Even since we came back, it's just everyone was just saying congratulations, well done. It's great for the city of Waterford, and hopefully everyone drives on from here now and get build on bigger things.
Fantastic. And tell me, lads, I presume you've been playing hurling for a long number of years now. Where did you start off? When did you start off? What age group? And how were you introduced to the game of hurling?
Even in the club then, Peter Welch kind of introduced the Go Games up in Mount Sign, and everyone kind of enjoyed it. It was good to do something new, and it was enjoyable, and everyone kind of got involved. New players came along, and that's where it all kind of started.
Yeah, I suppose like the whole idea of it like was to just get everyone a game, like, you know, the emphasis wasn't on winning, it was just having fun, make sure everyone stayed up in the field, like, and I suppose it worked, like. So,
to me, in an instant, that would dispel the myth that Go Games is some kind of diluted game of hurling and football. It caters for the developmental needs of players of all abilities, and we're starting to see. And if you look at this year, the two All-Ireland championships were played, the first products of an introduction to Go Games. And I don't think our games have ever been in a healthier state. So I think Go Games has a lot to play in that regard. Just moving on to the summary of the policy. As of the 1st of January this year, Rule 6.26 policy says that Go Games at under 7 will be played at a maximum of 7 aside. At under 9 will be played at a maximum of 9 aside, and under 11 will be played at a maximum of 11 aside per team. It'll be played on a blitz basis. Every child plays in each game, and it's underpinned by the philosophy of fun, fair play, and participation. So what are we trying to do with Go Games? We're trying to make sure that children play and stay with the game, with the GAA. As I said, there's a revolution going on. There's never been as many children playing our games before. Again, the major challenge is, can we keep them playing into teenage years at youth level and into adult level? But we are certainly creating a very, very solid foundation, and I am very, very proud of that fact. If you want any more information, and the full policy on Go Games is available at www.gaa.ie/Go Games. If you want to have a read of it, I certainly would encourage you to do so. Okay, Grav Magwif.